Good day everyone, today more Dr. Bright shenanigans, but this time as voted for by you, the Star Wars edition. Thank you to everyone who did submit a restriction. If you do have any more, just pop them all in the comments for us all to have a good laugh at. A teensy quick word from today's sponsor, and we'll get started. Check this out, the cool dudes who made the SCP playing cards have now also made some SCP wall art, and it looks awesome. A cross-section of a facility filled with over 100 well-known characters. You've got 096, 173, 131, 354, 343, 093, and even some classic doctors such as Clef, Bright and Gears. There's even a few little Easter eggs hidden in there as well, see if you can spot them. There's either a digital download or a physical option up for grabs printed on 460 GSM canvas. The physical one also includes an option to get a magnetic frame included as well. You've seen the cards, you know these people can create some good stuff, so follow the link below right now to the Kickstarter and sign yourself up for the SCP wall art. Releasing SCP-682 and announcing Execute Order 66 over the PA? Yeah, you're never doing that again. Dr. Bright, you are not allowed to usurp the role of 051 and declare I am the Senate again. Stop introducing people to SCP-053 and stating, let the hate flow through you, join the bright side of the Force. Leave the poor girl out of your shenanigans. Your proposal to restructure the Foundation into the First Galactic Empire is denied. You're not allowed to say this is where the fun begins during a containment breach or when introducing D-Class to any SCP. In fact, that quote is just permanently banned. SCP-2399 is not the new Death Star. Dr. Bright is also not allowed to launch SCPs at it to try and destroy them. SCP, not GOC, Bright. It's a trap is not an appropriate way to respond to mandatory meeting invitations. Do it is not how a director of 3 SCP sites approves an experiment. Do you have any idea how many ridiculous things were authorized because of you? I don't care if your idea is better, Bright. You can't use any reality-altering devices to change the Jedi Council to all be played by Samuel L. Jackson, or have him call Palpatine a motherfucker during the fight. Putting SCP-217 victims inside SCP-914 to create a droid army? Never again. The Administrator is not Emperor Palpatine. The Administrator cannot shoot Force lighting, and persons of interest or groups of interest are not part of the Rebel Alliance. Clone orders are not to be given to any MTF units. Also, MTF Tau 5 clones are not the Bad Batch. Taking a painted beige SCP-096 to a Star Wars convention while wearing a custom battle droid helmet? No. You can't use any SCP to create Baby Yoda. Sorry Bright, but rules are rules. Dr. Bright is not allowed to recreate any of the Star Wars films with SCPs as the main characters. We can't have SCP-096 going on a killing spree across the theatres. Your motion to have SCP-239 create Darth Vader to neutralise SCPs is denied with extreme prejudice. Containing that Jar Jar thing was hard enough. The MTF are not stormtroopers, the O5 Council are not the Senate, and you are not allowed to tell the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise to new recruits. Movie scripts suggested by SCP-2020 are not to be used to create a new sequel trilogy, no matter how much better they may be. I cannot believe you actually gave SCP-076 not 1, but 2 red lightsabers and proclaimed him a Sith Lord. Are you actually insane? You are allowed only 1 lightsaber, and only under heavy supervision. Bright can't juggle anyway, so I don't know why anyone thought it was a good idea to encourage him to juggle lightsabers while blindfolded. Shitty MTF teams is not a valid reason to create Dark Troopers, no matter how much more combat efficient they are. Nine-Tailed Fox want a word with you, by the way. You are not allowed to create any more lightsabers, not even on May the 4th or for experimental purposes. You are allowed 1, and the rest have been locked up. Consider yourself lucky. How did you synthesize the Death Trooper virus? No, you cannot run experiments between it and SCP-008 to see which is more effective. Whatever you did to the Tesla gates, undo it now. Please, never ever film yourself suckling from SCP-597 to make your own version of The Last Jedi again. Giving blasters to victims of SCP-217 to create your separatist army. 4 days later and Nine-Tailed Fox are still working to retake the 12th floor. You cannot make your own Chewbacca by giving laser weaponry or crossbows to SCP-1000. Wearing SCP-262 does not make you General Grievous. Also, stop greeting staff by saying General Kenobi. Staff are prohibited from playing along. Don't encourage him. You cannot use any SCPs to make people think Star Wars is good. We all know it isn't, and we have enough trouble treating those already affected. Stop bringing sand into the site. You should know that it's coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere. Every time Bright says this is the way when questioned about his actions, he is to be tasered. Dressing 682 up as Grogu is not the way, even if 682 requested it. After the events of Wednesday, Dr. Bright must remain at least 50 meters away from any trash compactor at all times. What the hell, Bright? You are not allowed to dress and arm a group of D-Class to be your own royal guard. You are not allowed to use SCP-387 to recreate Star Wars lightsaber duels. Duel of the Fates is not to be played during SCP-682 containment breaches or termination attempts. We don't know how you got it, but you are not allowed to wear Beskar armor and challenge 076 to a duel for the rule of Mandalore. Recreating the duel between Anakin and Obi-Wan by dropping SCP-076 and SCP-073 into a volcano? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Dr. Bright is not allowed to give SCP-076 a lightsaber and challenge him to a duel, or dress him up as Darth Vader, or convince him to join the dark side. While SCP-049 might have been happy to do so, your request to have him reconstruct your entire person and put you in a robotic suit to try and become Darth Vader is denied. R&D funding is not to be allocated to projects to build X-Wings, or any kind of starship to have weapons like the GOC. We almost lost our UN funding because of this. From my point of view, the O5 Council are evil is a shitty excuse to have when you've been caught red-handed, Bright. Feeding D-Class to SCP-682 to recreate the Rancor fight scene is a big no-no. I don't care if 682 enjoyed it. No. Roger Roger is banned outright. The next person who says it's on kidder duty for a week. It is inadvisable to continue referring to MTF units as stormtroopers or insult their stormtrooper-like aim. Requests have now been made to use you as target practice. Suggesting your lightsaber traps are the most effective counter to a containment breach is highly debatable. SCP-682 remarked he only stopped his rampage because of the pretty lights. Dr. Bright is not allowed to tell D-Class personnel, defecting staff, or compromised group of interest operatives, you are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor, take them away. Cutting D-Class arms off in the spirit of May the 4th is barbaric and stupid, never do it again. To the containment chamber guards must go is not an appropriate PA announcement. Dr. Bright is not allowed to talk like Yoda. Stop testing SCPs for midichlorians. Also, stop telling SCPs the Force is strong in them. SCP-073 is now convinced he is Luke Skywalker. Stop putting toys into SCP-914. That AT-AT destroyed half the research wing. You are treading on some mighty thin ice, Bright. And that concludes another Dr. Bright restrictions video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you did. If you've got any restrictions of your own or you want to suggest a theme for me to cover, just pop it down in the comments and I'll have a look later. Thank you to all the amazing patrons and members who keep this channel going. They are the backbone of this channel. Special thanks to Rick Trexon, Wings of a Meme, Big Mac, Nicholas, Number of the East, Infinitune, Splendy the Tier God, Razman, Guardian of Energy, Luna Wilson, Tamashik and Sam Samuel. Big thanks to the council members Arctoast Kibara, Captain Core, Hunter Killer, Tree, Cat Clone, Dr. Sleep, Bane, Monarch, Kikaran, Gamatorn, Your Local Agent, Dr. Ironside and Eden's Gate, and huge thanks to the administrators Andre Bachert, Viger, Kamana, Panzer, Techno Ninja, GFHD, Man Manor, and Deep Dark Pain. Thank you all for watching, I will see you all soon, and take care.